Hello everybody. So today we're going to be doing something slightly different and we're going to be looking at this new baking pan that I got. So this is a Nordic Ware pan and it is their kind of like an autumn kind of scene, I suppose. And it's gorgeous. It's like you can see it's kind of glittery as well in like the actual making of it. It's pretty weighty and I think it's like cast iron or something. But it's made in the US, which again is pretty cool, but that also makes it quite expensive and it can be difficult to get it imported into the UK, but I've found one and we're going to give it a go before I try any others. So just try and get this sleeve off so we can get a bit of a closer look. So this is the one that I have. And this is kind of more information about it if you're interested in reading it. And on the inside of this little leaflet, it's given a recipe for apple spice cakelettes and it tells you how to use it correctly, which is really nice. So to get a closer look of the shapes, so here they are. So we've got an acorn, a pumpkin and some form of leaf. It looks like an oak leaf, in my opinion. And I think it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. And we are going to try and bake some banana bread in these. And that will be the first thing that I use this for. So the first step we're going to do is actually wash it. So we're going to wash it in some soapy water. And the thing with non-stick is that you don't use anything abrasive. So we're not going to scrub it or anything like that, so we're just going to use some soapy water and a cloth and we'll go from there. So the first thing that we're going to do is cream together some butter. So this is 140 grams of softened butter, which doesn't want to come out of here. And then 140 grams of caster sugar. This is just being sieved to make sure there are no massive lumps in there. So once you've got it creamed like this, we're going to add, or slowly add, 2 beaten eggs and a little bit of 140 grams of flour. So we're going to add the eggs first. So once the eggs are in and we've added a little bit of flour, we're going to add the rest of the flour, which we're going to sieve in, plus a teaspoon of baking powder, and 2 mashed bananas. So we're going to fold this in. So now that that is combined, we're going to prepare the dish that we're going to use. So we're going to follow the instructions that Nordic Ware give, and that is to, one way of doing it is to brush the shapes with melted butter. So that's what we have here. And a little bit of flour, so that's what we're going to try. I've never done this before, so we're going to see how it works. But so from here we're going to add a little sprinkling of flour into each one. So this is what we've got. I have no idea if that's what we're supposed to have, but this is what we have. And we're going to give it a go and see what happens. So what I don't have is a cake scoop, but what I do have is 2 spoons. So that is what we're going to use to fill up the shapes. And I don't know how well this is going to go because this is a pretty thick batter. Obviously the shapes are pretty delicate in terms of they're very intricate. So again, we're just going to see what happens and hope for the best. So what we're going to do is put some tea towels down and we're just going to try and knock it down. Okay, that did not work. I was hoping it would work like a plant pot, but it didn't. So we're going to get chopped toothpick, chop chopstick instead. So I imagine this is not what you're supposed to do, but this is what we are going to do, and we'll just see what happens. This is such a learning curve for me, but I'm having quite a good time doing it. So that is what counts at the end of the day. Okay, so I don't want to fill them up too much. I think they may already be a little bit over full. It says no more than 3/4 full. So there's that. But I've got a lot of batter left, so I'm going to put them in some ramekins and then we can put them in the oven. So this is what we have now. So we're going to put them in the oven, and the recipe says for 50 minutes. That is for a loaf of banana bread, and this is clearly not a loaf. So we'll just see what happens, and probably won't go for an entire hour, but then I might. So we'll just see how the mood takes me, and we'll just keep an eye on them, and then if they start to go a bit too brown, then we'll take them out. But we're going to put them in the oven now, and we'll see what happens. Ta-da! So this is what we have. So it has been 20 minutes, and it turns out I should have listened to the instructions and only filled it 3/4 of the way, but it's actually not that bad. So sometimes you can get away with not listening to instructions of people who know what they're talking about. And so now, which we are going to listen to, is you have to leave it for 10 minutes to cool down, and then they should apparently come straight out of the molds. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to leave it for 10 minutes, and then we are going to try and tip them out, and we're going to see what happens. But so far they look pretty cool, and they're somewhat of a shape, so it'll be interesting to see what the undersides of them look like. So we'll be back in 10 minutes. Hello, so it has been slightly more than 10 minutes, so it's time to attempt to tip these out of their little tray thing. So we're gonna... Okay, so it's still a little bit too hot to handle with like bare skin, so we're gonna use this little tea towel, and we're literally just gonna flip them over. Okay, so they came out phenomenally well, so that is fantastic. I'm gonna put that down on here, and I am quite impressed because they have turned out amazingly well. So you can definitely see the different shapes of all of them. I definitely did overfill them, so that is why we've kind of got these edges around them, which kind of, they don't damage the shape, they just don't make it as pretty as it could be. But even so, you can even see all of the details in like the acorn, for example. So this is super, super cool, and I'm really impressed with this. This is amazing. I think this is like, I want to say hibiscus, but I don't know if that's correct. It's some kind of flower, potentially just a pumpkin. It's probably a pumpkin. We've got the oak leaf, which definitely was overfilled. My bad. And then we've got another acorn. And it's really cool that you can see all of the patterns in the top. Here's another pumpkin. Again, overfilled, my bad. And the little maple leaf. The maple leaf doesn't seem to have cooked as well as the other ones, which is probably because it was, well, it is bigger, I think, a little bit than the other ones. But it's still cooked, so it's not too bad. Definitely next time there will be less batter in there, and that should kind of help it cook all the way through more easily. But yeah, overall, this pan is fantastic. You can see closer up that none of the batter has stuck to anything at all, and you can even see the glittery bits there. That's really nice too. So you can see that the clarity in all of these, there is nothing at all in them left. So yeah, this is really, really cool, and I will definitely look to purchase some more of these because this is fantastic. Again, as I keep saying, this is great. So yeah, I'll let you know if I get some more and then we can test those too. But for now, I'm going to get used to using this one and see what other recipes I can make cool shapes with. So thank you for watching, and if you have any ideas for what I should cook in these, or any ideas for which pans I should get, then please let me know. I'm always open to ideas, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.